botalelanga bana yanga molimo na miteki likambo nasali te bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongoka kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga natula te ope nazanga te nazali na mobali oyo akokanga na makambo maso nalingaka oyebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo bana lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya katie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa kobotalelanga bana yanga molimo na miteki likambo nasali te bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongonga kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga nazali na mobali oyo akokanga na makambo maso nalingaka naye lelo na lopango na bino mpo nayebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo bana lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa mobali ya moko wapi ye natala na miso na ye na ye na ye na tembe o mama na
Teme na lopambo na bino na ye bobeta ngai na ye tosukisa lelo ekwekese ya mobali ngai na bino tokowela sapato etengama simisi epasuka na mokongo na ye na ye na ye na ye na ye na ye na teme o na ye na teme na ye na ye na ye mwana na ye na ye na ye na teme o.
Okay, folks, Sam Sainto, live from Public Radio. I want to welcome all of you again, brothers and sisters. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We know we've been away for a while because of some engagement, work engagement to be specific, and I'll explain that later. I want to thank all of you. I want to thank Mr. Francis So for holding us up there. Thank you, Mr. So. I want to thank Mr. Emmons George. I want to thank Professor Zaglo. All of those that continue to participate in the LPR program and they follow us, we say thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And people have been calling, how are you? I'm okay. God is in complete control. What have happened, and I will explain that later. Safety, safety. God, Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening for bringing us together. Thank you in this pandemic, and we're still here. Thank you. Thank you for shaking the United States of America, and yet still we're here. Thank you. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you for your mercy. We're still here with all of this disease. We're still here. Thank you. Continue to pour your blessing on all of us. Continue to bless my sisters and brothers in the diaspora and back home as well. We want to thank you. This is something that we say thank you for bringing us into the new year. All of us, thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you. We also want to say, God, continue to pour your blessing on us for us to help our brothers and sisters back home while we help our relatives and family back here as well. We say thank you, and we ask you to bless the country, Republic of Liberia. Bless the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. Give them wisdom to do what is good for the people. With that, we say thank you, and we also ask you to continue to pour your blessing on the host country, United States of America. With that, Lord, we say thank you and amen to all. Thank you. Folks, Thank you for those of you that following us. We say appreciate it. We appreciate it. We're going to be here again, doing some stuff again this evening. It's Friday evening, so I'll be all over this place, but I'll be a little bit specific on other issues here. What happened, the fact that you have not seen me within the last month or so, or whatever time, it's like I've always explained to you, I have nothing to hide. I'm very much engaged with this work project that I'm doing up north of California, between California and Oregon. There's a bridge project over there that as you know, I'm an engineer, so civil engineer to be specific. So there's a bridge project over there that I'm involved with. I'm responsible to do all of the roadway design as they're going to connect the bridge. We're not trying to build new road, but they're bringing in a wider bridge. So when you bring in a wider bridge, you're going to have to widen the road as well as they get out of the wider bridge. And you're not bringing in new roads. So you're going from wide to narrow. And so I'm responsible to make sure all the geometric figures in terms of lines and the driving will always when I do design, what keeps my mind is the Liberian people, to make sure that when they drive on my road, that they will be comfortable. Of course, I don't know if any Liberian will be able to drive on that road. But no, on a very serious, when you do a design, you have your customer, the end user, are the people you keep in mind. So you want to make sure they're comfortable when they're on your road. So all of the comfort aspect of road design have to be applied in this area. So I'm doing my best. And there's one that not something small. They men from Town, Grand Jide County, Republic of Liberia. They men jump over from Town. He jump over Tapeta. He jump over Sekepie. I'm going small. He jump over Ganta. He jump over Banga. He jump over even Totota. He jump over Totota. He jump over what's the other town? Carisburg. He jump over Carisburg. Then he went to Montreal. Then he jumped over Montreal. He came all the way to the Quick People land. Then they say, what you want to do? He say, hey, I want to do engineer. You not do engineer business in total before something too. You not do it before. You can't join in white people thing. So they want you up, my people. The other engineer, I put my hand in, and not easy. And not easy. We went over there, they say, and you know how to design? I say, yeah. They say, okay, yeah. My people, the environment people that I'm dealing with, they're not easy people. They're holding on to every aspect, environmental aspect in roadway design. In fact, on a very serious note, the environmental group are pretty much calling a shot on this road design that I'm on. I get frustrated sometimes, but that's their project. They are my client. I have to be careful. I will be in the middle of some sort of a war, retaining wall, roadway wall, in the middle of a calculation, and I'll get called. We want you to do this. We want to make sure, let's meet out in the field. We want to count the butterfly. We want to make sure we count the snake, and serious stuff. And I'm thinking to these people, are you serious? So the last time we were out there, about 2 weeks ago, the Congolese guy and myself, he's like your brother to me, little brother. So every time I go, I play him and set together. So when we went over there, the people started saying all kind of things. We went in the people bush. It was raining. We went on the bridge, in the bush. I wanted to do some Facebook, and I said no. If I do Facebook live while in the bush, the people say I lie. The people think they are in Grand Jide. I will honor the big tree. It was not easy. It was not easy. The fraud there, crown. So I say, if I do Facebook right now, the people think they are in Total. So I will not do that one. But on a very serious note. So we're very much engaged. And one of the interesting things, on a very serious note, one of the interesting about this project that I'm engaged with, this is the project. I've been involved with a lot of projects here, slide, must slide, you got to clean the place and then put in the new road. I've done all those things. But this one, they started doing this project here since 2000, I believe, or 2011 or more, or something like that. Don't hold me to it. But every other engineer that gets involved, they are unable to deal with the environmental issue. They can't make it. Then they throw the people say, we don't want a job. They give it to other people. So finally, the big boss over there in the north, I worked with him on another bridge project in the area before, back in 2000, I believe, or 2004 or 2005. I did a bridge job over there before. And he really enjoyed my involvement. I don't get angry. People say whatever. I'm like, cool, what you do to me? Ain't affrontosa that you white people, what you do to me? You're able me? You can say what you want to say. You know where I come from? Before you will say something for me to get back with you, I beg you, say what you want to say. I'm from town. You able me? You able me? So the white people, they may admire the fact that I wasn't angry with people. They say all kind of things. But I stood my ground. This is what I want. That's what I'm going to get. So this time around, when they came, he asked people what group Samson told. So they didn't agree. So okay, let's get after that. So they came to my boss and said they wanted me on this project. For some big shot, when I worked with him before, he wasn't that big, but he was big shot there. But now he's a big head now. So when they told me, what happened? They man want you. So I said, oh, this is Richard Mullen. Oh, okay. So we went to the PDT meeting. That's the project development team. Okay. So he said, well, Mr. Toll, would like for you to do this stuff and be a part of this team. So I said, okay, Richard, if you want, that's fine. And I got involved. And when I got involved in the project, two other guys that I know, good engineers as well. One of them is a conservative. And so he and I, before this project, we used to, but we're good friends. So anyway, he got involved, but he didn't go much. He didn't go too far and decided he didn't want it anymore. But what they were doing, this is what they call paper engineering, where you just sit down in the office and draw a bunch of lines. Without you, it's actually able to connect those things to be work out, the workable design. There's two different, workable design, paper design. So this guy was doing some paper. So when I got hold of it, I started going, I said, hey, what kind of business is it? So anyway, I got involved, and I told my supervisor, I said, this one, I'm from Total. I will deliver this project, and it's going to be constructed. Enough is enough. So I took it upon myself that I want to do this for myself. As Total man, to be able to, this project, when it's done, it'll be one of the projects that I'll put in my pocket and say, yes, I did this. And I will tell my mom and dad, thank you for the opportunity. Tell God, thank you for the opportunity. So the last 2 or 3 weeks, in fact, we're going to be working throughout this weekend again, because every time we get to a milestone, they say, oh, something else, y'all need to do more. Keep doing more. I'm not going to get tired. If they think that they're going to frustrate me, Total man, you know the kind of thing I've gone through, the kind of frustration that I've had. I used to walk from my house to the school in Total. I used to walk from school to farm in Total. I got frustrated. That you will make me, no frustration, bring it on. So I keep doing, I will deliver this project. And we're almost there. We have one more milestone, and then it will be done. And so I'm just taking this long time to explain to you because I'm a liberal progressive. And people say, what's the liberal? What's nothing wrong with Akram, man? The other liberal progressive Total, nothing wrong with him. He put a hand people in the white people thing and he's sweating. But I better go. You can see sweat on a better go skin. No. But he hot. Anyway, folks, I just thought I'd give you that news. But we're getting there. We're getting there. It's a good project. This one of the good things about this project here, to be honest with you. If you're involved in what a railway project, whatever project, there are some projects that are specific in how you deal with that project. And there are some projects that when you get involved, everything, all the functional unit, you're involved with every activities. And by the time you're done, your learning capacity from that project becomes a little bit broader. And this is what this project is. This project, it's a very small little project, it's not long, but it involves everything. all of the design aspect, the vertical design, horizontal design, the environmental mitigation process. Everything is involved because they don't want you to dump dirty water to the people ocean. We're just about maybe 2-3 miles from the ocean. So they want all of the water that coming out of this thing to be clean by the time it gets to the ocean. The fish that go upstream, they want the serious. The folks, don't laugh, I'm serious. The last meeting we had, they're going to have somebody assigned to this project to do stress tests on the fish during construction. Make sure the fish, serious, make sure the fish don't go cuckoo on them. So when they're doing the process, every now and then somebody will dive, get 1 or 2 bunch of fish. They don't want to do hook or net. They have fish passage. So what they would do, they go under there and have some sort of a diversion where the fish would think that they're going that hole, they bring it up and do a stress test on that fish to make sure the fish, they're not crazy. Because they think that the fish go crazy, they will now spawn upstream and their children, all their children will be crazy. So what we're talking this guy, I thought you were kidding. And I said, yeah, well, if the fish go crazy, just give it to me. I'll put it in my pot. Every one of those people, the women, the men, the environmental people, their faces change from having conversation to a serious stuff. And my supervisor said, you can't say that, Mr. Toll. These are the people doing their job. I zip it right away. I was hoping to get fish in my palm, the people stop to it quick. So it's a very serious business. And to top of it, just today, was it? No, yesterday. Like I said, we only have one more milestone. At this point, all of my design, all of the guardrail, everything should be done. We have another property that is not too far from the bridge. But this person is seen to be powerful. So they contacted Caltrain, big boss. And now, yesterday I got an email that I have to provide guardrail along this guy's property so that people don't slip into his yard. I'm done with everything. They think they're going to frustrate me? No. It's easy. You can put a guardrail in there or anything. Guardrail, 7-foot guardrail. The post, I'm using steel posts. All they have to do is provide guardrail that will have a 31 inches. Anything by, I fill behind it, make sure they compact it well, I put my post down, I'm done. You're not going to frustrate me. I'm not going to give up on the project. I will deliver. Why? Because I'm from Town. Thank you, folks. I thought I'd give you the information. Thank you very much. No, exactly. I told you. I said, you want to do stress test? Let's do it in my pot. But they didn't take it lightly. They didn't think it was funny. I tell you guys, they have a case me. When I'm done with the project, I will show you. They have a case me. They call it muscle bed. Case me in bed. So they measure where, and I have to stick them out where people should not be messing around because they case me. Sometimes they're sleeping, so you can't disturb them. So those are the kinds of, they got people that are assigned on this project, when the construction start, a person every week will come and do stress tests on the different animals in that area. And one of the good things about the project that I'm certified, we've already looked under the bridge. There's no bird net. Now in California, when you start doing bridge work and you have a bird net under the bridge, you have to physically move the bird net, put it somewhere else, and you don't do nothing until the bird comes and say, where's my net? Then follow it and say, oh, yeah, the old net, until the bird gets used to the new net and started going into that net before you start construction. Other than that, you don't touch nothing. And if the bird refuses to go to the new net, the biologist, they will bring that net back until the next season when you birds then leave. I'm telling you, it's true story. Until the birds then leave, the net empty. They go in there, no egg, nothing. And it's okay, you're quiet. You think I'm kidding? I'm serious. So anyhow, I want to thank all of you for following. I know many of you have not seen me for a while, but it's fun. It's fun. We enjoy doing what we're doing. Thank God. So let's go on. It's a very serious business, folks. Sam Sinto, Liberian Public Radio. Let's go ahead and start this show. As usual, I haven't forgotten, even though I've been out of this thing for quite a while, but folks, the president of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. Weah. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's the president. Anniversary, though. This is the 3rd year now. 3 years ago, I was in Monrovia. I saw some of my video today. I tried to save it, but I was only about 15 feet away from the podium. And this is what I'm going to be going with the conversation tonight. I'm not here to be the government spokesperson. No, I'm not here to just criticize. I'm trying to point out something here to you tonight. It's a very serious business. It's a very serious business. Because if Dr. Weah and his people succeed, we'll all succeed. If they fail, we'll all fail. If I want Dr. Weah, which of course I want them out of office, but I will do it during the appointed time by the Constitution. And I will campaign against them. But in the meantime, I must say things, criticize, but with responsibility and with respect. And I hope the people will see it from that perspective. Let's go on. Folks, that's Dr. Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia, duly elected. He didn't come to the position through the back door. He didn't bribe anybody. The Liberian people said, this is the man we want, and they elected him. But 3 years into the process. I'm going to go, I don't have all of the projects tonight, but some of the projects that are up there, I'll talk about them a little bit here and there. But the first thing I want to say, before I move on, the first thing I want to say, I want CDC and Dr. Weah to understand that Monrovia is not Liberia. Monrovia, forget most radical countries, I say Monrovia, it's not Liberia. You got other citizens that are crying for your help, that are crying for your attention all over the country, not just Monrovia. Not just Monrovia. So if you do a little bit in Monrovia, do a little bit too in Grand Gila County, Zwatu to be specific. Do a little bit in Sino County, Greenville. Little bit, Maryland, Harper. They all need your attention, Dr. Weah, not just Montserrat County. So this is some of the things I'm going to be talking about here tonight. So let's go ahead. Sam Sinto, Liberian Public, folks, that's our president, Dr. Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia. And let me see here. Okay, here's what I want to talk about tonight. And you don't have to stay with me. It's Friday, folks. Propo agenda. Propo agenda. Propo agenda. Let me go to the title. Propo agenda. Okay. A 5-year national development plan towards accelerated, inclusive, and sustainable development, 2018 to 2023. 2023. Okay. How are we on this? Let's be honest with each other here tonight. You don't want to watch me, please just excuse yourself. That's fine. Nobody have to watch me. You don't even have to watch me. I can talk. I don't need people watching me for me to talk. But on a very serious note, let's try to examine what is happening here. This is 3 year, 6-year mandate. The role that I always play here for Dr. Weah, when he was during the campaign walking on that road, the mud is still there. Every time it rains, that road is still bad. What area that they can show us that they have done something and we can, tangible. Montserrat County, Monrovia is not Liberia. You put LIPO in Monrovia, we say congratulations. Thank you, Mr. President. You pave those communities that are not Grangida County, those communities that are not Sino County, those communities that are not Nima, that are not Mosrado, they're not Bon County. It's a community road. Thank you, Mr. President. When are we going to get our own? There's Liberians all over from southeast. Nothing coming in, nothing good, no roads. Mr. President, 3 years. Happy anniversary, sir. Thank you very much. But let's forget about the roast aspect of it a little bit. These people came in, and it's very painful to talk about it, to be honest with you. Because those of us that like to read, and those of us that follow intellectual platform from time to time, when we saw that they have this pro-poor agenda, which I always, and I will continue to call it blueprint, when they lay out the blueprint of how they're going to govern in terms of development, in terms of moving Liberian citizens, they're moving them from one position to another. Every one of us, even if you're against this government, or even if you're against this party, you feel within yourself, these people have plans. This is one, because everything you do, if you don't have plan, you're going nowhere. And the fact that they were able to bring blueprint, some of us believe in this blueprint. This blueprint, we believe in it. We thought that they were going to carry on and work and make sure these things happen. Let's read what it says according to them, what the pro-poor agenda is. Pro-poor agenda. Folks, this is the pro-poor agenda, as you can see here. You see all of this? And I will go into it one by one. How many pages? Let's see. Oh, it's not that much. 152 pages. I will go through it one by one. Okay? Pro-poor agenda. What are they saying? What is pro-poor agenda? The pro-poor agenda is therefore, according to them, now I'm reading exactly what they wrote in their blueprint. The pro-poor agenda is therefore about people of the Republic of Liberia. Folks, hold on. Hello? What happened? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. He coming through a supervisor wait all around. That how you can answer your boss, man. You want me to put your ass so the people can know how you can be attacking me in the corner? You want me to put you? He said no. You run away. Okay. By the way, let's go back. That's Mr. So. By the way, trying to check on us. He's the LPR CEO. So let's go ahead on a very serious note. What am I doing this tonight? I'm doing this because this is an anniversary. 3 years into this position. What have we gotten from these people? To be honest, I'm not going to talk about the financial aspect of it because that's not my area. I don't know much about financing, business, and what have you. But your eye can see it. You can see in the country. Where are we? Where are we? And I thought those of you that have been following this government, let's go ahead and re-examine the pro-poor agenda, which is the blueprint. They don't even talk about it anymore. Let's go ahead. Because if they were to actually go with this blueprint, they won't go wrong because this blueprint lay out everything, how they're supposed to function, what are some of the things to do. When you do A, you do B, you do... I mean, it's so good. It's so cleared out. It's unbelievable. But let's look at it. He said the pro-poor agenda is therefore about people. How to strengthen their capacity to thrive and how to draw all Liberians. I'll say Liberia. He said all Liberians. All. They said CDC Liberians. There was no specific area. They just say all Liberians. So I believe they're talking to me as well. And how to draw all Liberians. And this is the interesting one. I don't even have to say me, but listen to what they say. All Liberians living at home and abroad into the national development process. This is the blueprint. They're talking about pro-poor agenda. What if people just, oh, pro-poor agenda, oh, pro-poor clothes, oh, pro-poor this, pro-poor money? No, they're saying pro-poor agenda. What is it? These people giving us their definition. Okay. Over the next 5 years, addressing the basic needs of Liberians for income security, better access to basic services, and greater opportunities for self-improvement and enabling environmental that is inclusive and stable will be the core of the pro-poor agenda. They just told us what the core, you know what a core is? Centerpiece. We're holding things together. Does it look like this core that they talk about in the pro-poor agenda? This is not something somebody else has wrote. This is pro-poor agenda written specifically by this government, telling Liberia and the international community how they're going to govern. So we shouldn't be guessing. So if things are not falling in place, it means they have deviated from what they told us they were going to do. Now you're over there and say, how sure are you that the people have deviated? Good question. How sure am I? Because things are not going well right now, to be honest with you. I'm not criticizing because I want to criticize. Just a few days ago, you heard they want to print more money because the money issue in Liberia is difficult. They want to print more money and take the old money from the market, and whatever the financial people will do. But things are not going well. They want to print so many Liberian $1 billion, but they want to pay the contractor $21-point-something million. Pro-poor agenda. They told us the core of the pro-poor agenda was centered around the people of the Republic of Liberia. For addressing their basic needs, for income security. Do we have income security for our brothers and sisters in Liberia right now? 2 days ago, there was a guy that was underneath a truck, underneath a car in the Capitol building area over there, crying for pay because he said no pay. Income security. Income security. They said that's what they're going to do in the Republic of Liberia. In the Republic of Liberia. Income security. According to the pro-poor agenda. And the way they went about care. You know, sometimes in life, you have to be very careful. And that's why I think this pro-poor agenda is like some sort of a hoax. Because they were so smart, you got some smart people, you got people like Samuel Tua with them. So perhaps the fact that Samuel Tua, people like Samuel Tua can talk and talk good, they thought they can just pour the wolf over people's eyes. The way they did the development pro-poor agenda, the way they brought it in, you would think, yes, these people are serious. Let me tell you one story. Back in the days in Liberia, they have a guy, you know, I play football a little bit now. So they have a guy, Barome, and I'm a Barome. They have a guy called David Livingstone. Tall, huge guy. He's just like Santa Maria. Or even William Jabbo. William Jabbo used to play for St. Joseph Warrior. They late William Jabbo. And the Santa Maria, but he good. I would say, yeah, they're not good team. They got good player. They got some of the good players. They're my like best friend, Mama Musa there. They're good people, like Agre there. But the team, when they play for the team, they must say, not friend I want that. After the game, we can be friends later. Barrow. But anyway, that's besides the point. And this guy they called David Livingstone used to be with Barrow. But what this guy would do during the game, any kind of foreign team come to Liberia to play Barrow or play Lone Star, this guy would dress just like the player. And he knows how to move the ball around. You know how the player then, when they get on the field, they can be warming up? The opposition, they'll be saying, hey, they may play today. I don't know what the people brought us here. They may have disgrace. If you see David Livingstone, you will not believe it. So David Livingstone used to be there to scare the people. So when the game starts, Livingstone was on the bench. They say, the other opposition, the other team, say, LeBron brother, you're playing with us. They ain't ready yet. Because that man standing on the bench want to bring up with on. Half time. Livingstone still standing on the bench because he can't play. But he can show off. Why am I saying this? And this is why I think this pro-poor agenda, perhaps I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, that these people came and brought this thing knowing fully well they're not even going to implement it. So why do that? There's one or two reasons. Either it's a hoax to use it to blindfold us and the international community, for international community to put money in there, believe it. Because here's the thing about the international community. When they see these kinds of stuff, they're impressed. Say, wow, this young government, young people, and they have a blueprint. So we need to help them. When you do this blueprint, you get the blueprint up there for people, thinking that people you're gonna do good. And when Samuel Tuade unveiled this thing, it was unbelievable. They did it in Ganta, unbelievable. International community was represented fully. And I will show you the video here. Okay? And nothing. But let's go ahead. So they say the core of this pro-poor agenda, the core center of it. Okay? Number one, addressing the basic needs of Liberian. Number two, for income security of Liberian. Number three, better access to basic services and greater opportunity for self-improvement and enabling environment that is inclusive and stable. And stable will be at the core of the pro-poor agenda. While one of the aims over the long term remain raising per capita income level and economic status to the middle income country as outlined on the vision of 2030 framework. The focus over the next 5 years will be on the removing binding constraint to reaching that goal. So if they give us this kind of layout and their intent within the next 5 years, they said, they will remove all of the constraint that are stopping Liberians from getting their basic need, that are stopping Liberian income security, that is stopping us from the basic services, the opportunity to self-improve. All of the constraints will be removed. As that will be their goal. The pro-poor agenda is also about crafting a national identity. 3 years ago, folks, what is a crafting national identity that they have done? What is it? That you can put your finger on and say, oh, this is the national identity that these people are established according to them. I'm still a Liberian. But when it rains, if I were to be in Liberia, I won't be able to go to Grand County. My identity as Grangidian and my identity, Grangidian Liberian, is now being stopped by the roll cutting off. I'm no longer able to join the folks in Monrovia to be part of the national identity. And now my identity has stopped to county level. Is this a national identity that these people are trying to establish? I'm just trying to examine ourselves. And this is not about CDC-led government. Yeah, they are the government, but what's about us as Liberians? What is our own responsibility in this crisis that we're facing? What happened? I'll give you an example. In Grand Jide County, the superintendent, some time ago, and the El Mayor, and they built a stadium and put a zinc over the stadium, okay? And have, according to them, have some beautiful, beautiful commode all set in the bathroom and stuff like that. When El Mayor left, in less than a week, all of the zinc on top of the building, the people took it off. All of the toilet in the bathroom, they stripped everything there. These are Grangidians taking things that belong to Grangidians. So what is our own responsibility? Who are we? And this is what the proper agenda should have been addressing by now. Giving Liberian people some sort of a stake in this whole process. And because you fail to do that, Liberians don't feel that these things belong to all of us. So if they see things like that, they say, hey, that the people, they will find another one, let me take it, man. They have no value in it because you have not made these people to be part of the process. The national identity that is specified here has been we failed them, every one of us. Where is the national identity that's supposed to be? Because if you do that, if you make the Liberian people to love their country, they will make sure if you do anything, they will take care of it. If you explain to them that we Liberians do not have much money coming out of this country, we're begging for people to give us money for us to do things. Therefore, we must take care of it. That's not the same thing that people then used to do to us when buying in the country, when they buy a uniform. Your mom and pa never used to tell you, I beg you, the uniform. They don't get money to be buying uniform every month. So please take care of it. When you come from school, hang it up. Wash it and hang it up. You never had that kind of advice before. Why we can't do the same thing to our brothers and sisters? But when you get ready, condescending, don't respect the people. You just think you, Samuel 12, to be specific, believe that whatever he's doing is God. Nobody should question it. Samuel 12, you're living in Liberia. We're all Liberia, my brother. Even as educated as you are, people should question you and should allow people to question you. Every day, you have our own brother Eugene Falcon to try and explain to people. He come up making these kinds of sometimes ridiculous statements on Facebook. As far as I'm concerned, his being deputy minister is all deputy minister on Facebook. Because I don't see anything else here. People like Weeks, my own brother, Kwame Weeks, is doing better job than Eugene Falcon. Kwame Weeks tell people almost every week what Liberia is doing, what people are doing. He takes his camera and go from place to place so that the Liberian in the diaspora will be able to experience some of the things our brothers and sisters are experiencing. Like what Falcon does, what does he do? He sits there and looks for enemy of the state. Is that how you're going to craft this identity, this national identity? Let's go into it. The proper agenda is also about crafting the national identity aside. Underpinning the long conflict is the national identity crisis embedded in the first constitution that Liberians are on a mission to seek liberty, Christianity, and whatever, believed in Africa. Successor generation has been brought up to believe that there is always a special relationship as well, that Liberia is Christian missionary nation. The government and the people recognize and embrace our African identity first and foremost, and adapt our national development must start from the mindset. How do you convince these people? How? Folks, I'm just trying to examine this afternoon. I'm not against anybody. But if we believe that because you say something that perhaps is critical of certain group, therefore you are against, you're not serious. If we're not sincere with each other, tell me if I'm wrong. And say why you think I'm wrong. That's okay. That's okay. Since I've been doing it, I haven't called anybody name. So don't call me name either. Challenge me. I will accept that. So now we have this anniversary. 3 years in power, folks. Where are we? I just gave you the pro-poor agenda definition. They don't even talk about it anymore. They don't even talk about it anymore. Now, let's examine the pro-poor when they were launching the pro-poor agenda, folks. And you will see what I'm talking about. These things are very serious. You can't come in and make a pro-poor agenda, launch the pro-poor agenda, having everyone believing that you have the blueprint. And based on the blueprint, you would lift all our brothers and sisters from whatever position they're in, even if you don't take them to a different level. But show the intent. Show that you're serious. Even if you do not have the means to take them up, show the people that it is your intent to start that. We have the president. And I keep saying it. I don't want nothing from them. They know that. But I keep saying this. This is the same Dr. Weah when it was raining the other day. He decided to go play football among the young people. You think he probably got nothing to do? But he's doing that to make sure that to say to the people, I'm not above anything else. But those who are supposed to help him to carry out this policy are the people that are failing him. And he recognized that. He knows. At this point, Dr. Weah he's not oblivious to this thing. He knows that these people have failed him massively. So why is he not going down to say, let's change course? Who is he going to bring on? These people around him have made him not to trust anybody else. They made him to, listen, it's a very serious issue. The people around him made him to believe that every one of the people that are around in the country, opposition or whatever, they ought to get him. So right now, he can't turn around. Let me play this thing. This is the launching of the pro-poor agenda. Let's see how far we go with it. Samson told Liberia Pub Radio.
Prophesy to you, you will rise, you will shine, you will prosper in Africa. Hear the word, Liberia, sweet land of we prophesy to you, you will rise, you will shine, you will prosper in Africa. Hear the word. Prophesy to you, you will rise, you will shine, you will prosper in Africa. Hear the word, Liberia,
So there you have it. That's and as I go on throughout, because I have more video, I'm going to be showing, not today. I'm just going to be doing a lot of reading here with you guys, but I have some video I'm going to be showing you when they did the launching. Okay. So, but let's go on. Let's go on the pro-poor agenda issue here. It's a very serious business. You know what pro-poor agenda looks like to me? They have another national document, which is also, for me, considered to be a blueprint. And that's the code of conduct. If you have the opportunity sometime, try and find your code of conduct and just read through it. You know, one thing, it seemed to me, Liberians, I'm not too sure why, but it seemed to me, we Liberians, we have the ability to put together a framework, operational framework of how to operate certain things. If Liberians were people who were in the business of doing manufacture operational menu, we will be the best. Because when we describe how to operate something, you can bring Bonua, sir. Bonua, you bring in, he will be successful. Because we make it so explicit that people like me from Total will be able to understand it. Not just the pro-poor agenda, the code of conduct. If you have the opportunity to go through that code of conduct, it's also like a blueprint. If Liberia will follow that, we don't need to throw people in jail, because the code of conduct specifies and spell out how a government official is supposed to behave. Spell out how we, the citizen ourselves, what is our role besides the Constitution. The code of conduct spell out everything, how we're supposed to engage each other, the government official and the private citizen, how they're supposed to engage each other, and follow that. What are some of the rules that if you're governing, or that you're working for the people of the Republic of Liberia, what's supposed to be your conduct, your character? The code of conduct spelled out everything. But what do? You don't even pay attention to that. You have people abusing the code of conduct like nothing else. We wrote it, but if we don't respect it, it's not going to work. The democracy, all of those things are bluffing things, and people can call the bluff. And Liberian, especially the government official, decide to call the bluff of the code of conduct. They don't respect it. They don't respect it because they don't think it applies to them. So why you put it in public? Why you make it part of the archive of Liberian legacy, or whatever it is? What's your reason? This is what these people will do for us. Let's go back to the pro-poor agenda. Okay? It says it. Let me drink a little water. Please, bear with me. Yeah, that water, are you business? No, I don't drink, folks. This is water. No, but look. Let's look at it. In view of the foregoing and taking into consideration progress made over the past 12 years, the objectives of the PAT are to build a stable, resilient, and inclusive nation, embracing our tripartite heritage and anger on our identity as African. Folks, we Liberians, we can write. It's unbelievable. Let me read this again. To build a stable, resilient, and inclusive nation, embracing our tripartite heritage and anger on our identity as African. Do you understand this? Do you understand this? This pro-poor agenda is to build stable nation, resilient nation, inclusive nation, embrace our culture, our African culture, which is our identity. Many people, man, they're not serious. They're not serious. You write a beautiful thing and you're out there. We can't even pay teachers. We can't pay other people, workers. And you're talking about, man, you're not serious, man. You're not serious. You're not serious. To lift an additional 1 million Liberians out of absolute poverty over the next 6 years. They even lift 5 people except themselves. I'm sorry to say this. Except themselves. Why am I now going this low? The code of conduct, people who work in the government, first, they should declare their assets. They didn't do that. If they were to declare their assets from day one, Liberians will know how much money, what's their worth before going into the public sector. They didn't do it. They did not give us any information on what they have, but they got into public sector. Next thing we know, a lot of things start happening. They started earning stuff. And I'm not here to accuse anybody. But because you didn't tell us what you have before you came into the public sector, we can say, why can't we not say that whatever you have now belongs to us? Because you didn't think about it. Think about it. And this is what really gets to me about Dr. Weah. He's a former football player. When you get on the field, the referee, they look at your body, they look under your shoes. Make sure you have nothing heavy in there before you get on the field to go play. But then when you come to rule us, where the ruling based on trust, my people, what's wrong with you? The ruling to rule us, and you don't have to spend money to rule us. It's based on trust. And some of the things to give us the ability to be trustworthy towards you is to say, give us your asset as you're coming in. You don't have to be a millionaire. My people, I got nothing. Okay, thank you. Get in there. And then the idea is people are going to watch you. But you didn't tell us how much you have. And you came in. The next thing we know, you start getting everything. Why can we not say what you have belongs to us? How are you going to stop that? And then when people go around, start saying all kinds of things you want to blame, then you're going to get angry about it. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Let's go on. So the code of conduct is not being abided by anybody. Let's go on. To live an additional
soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga natula te ope nazanga te nazali na mobali oyo akokanga na makambo maso nalingaka soki ekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya kartier na bilongi mpe kopepapepa kobotalelanga bana yanga molimo na miteki likambo nasali te bakopanzanga sango kinshasa mobimba bakotongonga kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga te ope nasanga te nazali na mobali oya kokanga na makambo maso nalingaka naye lelo na lopango na bino mpo nayebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo banda lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ayekotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ayekotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa
Okay, so we're back. Sorry about that. But if you're still with us, that's fine. If you're still with us, that's fine. But I'll continue with it. Okay. So I was before we went off air, I was trying to read to you the Pro-Poor agenda, and I'm wondering why these people are not following that anymore. Every one of the mouthpiece in the diaspora for this government don't even touch the Pro-Poor agenda. They don't touch the Pro-Poor agenda. They're going personal, talking about people, saying things about people. How is that going to benefit the Republic of Liberia through the government that you're speaking for? If you're not going through and try to explain to the people some of these things, important things that the people need to know, all you do all day, you consider yourself mouthpiece of the government, but you attack people, personal attack. Is that how you're going to, is that what's going to help this government? No. You come out and have people to debate the issues. You call people to talk about these issues. The Pro-Poor agenda. Why is it that you people don't pick the Pro-Poor agenda to talk about it anymore? Is it because you feel that the Pro-Poor agenda agenda going to expose your government? Because if what I'm reading right now, those of you that are listening to me, think about it. Is the government, now from here on until I end tonight, this is a question. Is this government, things that this government have been doing within the last 3 years, is it to build a stable, resilient, and inclusive nation, embracing our tribal heritage, anger on our identity as African? Is the government doing that? Is this government to live, is it doing things to live an additional 1 million Liberians out of absolute poverty over the next 6 years, and to reduce absolute poverty by 23% across 5 of the 6 regions through sustained and inclusive growth driven by scale-up investment in agriculture, in infrastructure, and in human capital development? Is the government doing that? I went in for my answer. Is the government doing that? Okay. The key measurement for progress on the first goal will be the social cohesion and recognition index. The goal is to improve the index from 6.6 to 8. Okay, let me let that one sink in a little bit. Folks, I'm not here to criticize because I want to. I'm saying to you, unless I'm wrong, the road we're on, you give us a blueprint. Why aren't you having this blueprint being implemented? Every day, the young people in the street sinking. Why? Let's look at it. Pillars of the Pro-Poor agenda. The Pro-Poor agenda also presents the indicators in results of frameworks for each of its 4 pillars as tool to assist. Ain't even finished my marvel. Ain't even finished my marvel. This, they consider it to be the tools to assist government ministries, agencies, and commissioners, and partner to logically link intervention to the higher level goal over the next 5 years. Mapa, I'm not here to attack people who are going with paper. Paper they themselves wrote. That's the one I'm using. They gave me the paper, I'm sending it back to them. I said, this is what you wrote. Is that what you're doing? They said they got 4 pillars to help the government. I told you this was a blueprint. This is coming from themselves. Tools to assist government ministries, agency, and commission, and partner to logically link intervention to the higher level goals over the next 5 years. Okay? That one thing about drinking water and talking, you start drinking more and more. But anyway, I'll do my best. Okay. Which in turn will bring Liberia closer to the realization of the aspiration, define, honor, the vision that 2030 progress. Each result framework will inform the revision of the existing structural strategy plan as they expire. Okay. Now let's see now. Let's go to the folks. This is what I'm going to be doing for the next month or so until I finish with it. So if you don't think this is a place that you can come to have the conversation, thank you. We appreciate you joining us. If this is not your thing tonight, that's okay. Please visit us next time. Okay? But this is what I'm going to be doing. The reason I'm doing this, I'm not going to come here and attack people based on personality. That is useless conversation. It's not useful to the engagement. I'm not going to come here and accuse people of stealing things when I have no proof. That's not what I'm going to do. I will come here because this Pro-Poor agenda is a document. I didn't write this. LPR didn't pay people to write this. This was written by people set up by this government. And it was written by intellectuals. And they have examined what they need to do to move this country forward. And they decided, instead of us just depending on ourselves, let's put it in a framework that anybody from any of the ministry, from any of the government agency will pick it up and use it as a blueprint to move the country forward. They're not doing that. And I'm holding them responsible. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm doing. So if this is not your place, we say thank you. But here, it's an intellectual platform where we come to engage. We're not here to degrade. We're not here to insult. Of course, insult into Liberian political legacy is part of it now. Insult and cussing people, it seems like it's part of the political language now in Liberian politics. But I'm not quite there yet. I'm behind. And I think I will stay behind for a while. So if you think this is not your platform, we say thank you. But let's go ahead. The 2030 goals over the next 5 years, the strategy are built around these four pillars, which from the pathways of the next 5 years. Listen, this is a pillar they say. When you build upstairs building, and you can put columns down for the building to stand on top of it. It's the same thing. Foundation, it's the same thing. So listen to pillar 1. Power to the people to reduce developmental inequity so the people can prosper. To reduce developmental inequities so the people can prosper. That's pillar 1. If you're building this thing I'm holding up here, and you put pin here, put point 4 of them, this thing will stand. But when you cut one down, this thing gonna fall. And that's exactly what is happening with the Pro-Poor agenda. And that's why they're not touching it. Because these pillars that I'm gonna be reading to you here, they are not being implemented. And this particular document that I have is weak. And therefore they don't want to touch it. Tell me if I'm making it up. Tell me if what I'm saying if it's wrong. Say it. I will soon be opening the line, folks. Let me read the other one. Pillar number 2. The economy and jobs. Economic stability and job creation through effective resource mobilization and prudent management of economic inclusion. That's the pillar number 2. They're not even touching that. You know what I got on the other hand here? Core report. Core report. When they give us this Pro-Poor agenda, the one holding my left hand, they went a misstep and decided to abuse the system. That's why I gave us core report. Remember core report? Independent review regarding allegation of the disappearing of the new Liberian dollar banknote. $16 billion. They say here in the Pro-Poor agenda, the economy and jobs, the economic stability and job creation through effective resource mobilization and prudent management of economic inclusion. Core report say, in the process, core report say, independent review regarding allegations of the disappearance of the new Liberian banknote. Folks, these are things if you're going to do, you do them. But because of your fact that you don't respect the even pay, that's what I think. This whole Pro-Poor agenda issue is a hoax. They did it intentionally to give us a hoax. Make us to believe they're going to do certain thing and they refuse. And they say that's not possible. Why are you doing this to us? Let's go on. I'll give you pillar 2. Okay? Pillar 3. Sustaining the peace, promoting cohesive society for sustainable development. Yeah? Let's ask Eugene Facon. How is he promoting cohesiveness in a society to sustain development? Yeah? Let's ask all the platform that the government is paying people to operate in the diaspora. When they're ready and go personal on people, how are they promoting cohesiveness, society for sustainable development in Liberia? Let's ask the government that is now refusing to allow Henry Costa to use another radio station. How is that promoting peace? Yeah? I'm reading your pedal. That's why you said that I'm me who says so. So if I say something that is not right, please say so. If I say something that is not right, please tell me. Okay? The people say they're promoting the peace. They're going to promote the peace. Because you don't like what the person is saying. So you shut them down. How Henry Costa, let's suppose what you're saying is correct. That he is a fugitive. So the fact that he's a fugitive. So therefore, if somebody have their own public, private entity, you're not going to say, don't play that person because we believe a person is a fugitive, then we don't want him to be played. How is that promoting the peace? That's all I want to know. Then the question also to us, what is our own responsibility as citizens of the Republic of Liberia? That when we hold these people who are supposed to be our leader, when we hold their feet to the fire, then they identify us and tell the platform that they're friendly, they consider to be friendly to the government, to degrade us one by one. How is that promoting the peace? Election, they truck people from one position to another because they want power. How is that promoting peace? You're telling us here to sustain the peace, promotes the cohesive society for sustainable development. How? How is it that this government, Bill have money to do community, have money to do other things, bring lights in Monrovia, but when it's raining, the people in the southeastern area cannot move. How is that promoting peace? I'm just questioning what you have here. And that I mean, you bring it up. You brought it up. So I'm questioning. I'm questioning. And I'm not saying that you don't have other means to do these things, but this is the blueprint that you give us. You taught us this. If you want to know, don't be questioning people every day. If you want to know how this government is going to operate, here is the proper agenda. Agenda. Blueprint of how you're going to operate. And you are so good explaining to us. Now the question, 3 years into this position, are we on the roll of this blueprint? 3 years, it's a 5-year program. So you 3 years out of the 5 years already out. Let's examine the past 3 years with relationship to this proper agenda. Which one of the 3 years that is in the past that we can identify here based on the proper agenda to say, yes, we check. 1 year, year one, they said they were going to do that. Okay, we check. Year two, they said they were going to be here. We check. Year three, they said they're going to be here. They're here now. We check. You tell me. Last pillar, there's 4 of them. Governance and transparency. An inclusive and accountable public sector for shared prosperity and sustainable development. Then I will spend a few time on it. You see, you can't do us like that. We're all brothers and sisters. Some of us truly believe that Dr. Weah has the ability to deliver. But because of the inept behavior of some of those people around that were asked to help him promote, you fail him, and thereby, in the extension, you fail all of us. You all wrote a beautiful speech that you gave to Dr. Weah during the inaugural program. People that sounds into them in tears that day, 3 years ago, when Dr. Weah was there speaking. Under my administration, and I'm paraphrasing, Liberians will not be spectators in their own country. Do you know how long Liberia has been spectators in their own country? And now to hear our own brother, the person we used to be, when you hear a name, you can be dancing in the street. The person, when the war, when some of you are killing people, he used to come from from Europe, come to Liberia to make people happy. When we heard, he say, I'm your leader now. On a mind watch, Liberia will not be spectator in this country. People were dancing. Some of us were crying because we know the history. Are we still not spectator in our own country? Tell me, how many Liberians that have the contract to build, seriously, do real construction job in Liberia? The community road that you're building in Monrovia, how many Liberian company in charge? And don't tell me, I don't know. I have a friend who has an engineering company, and every day I'm on the line with him. There was supposed to be a contract given to him that I was supposed to be part of, to be able to do some design for him. Roadway design. And that's contract, my understanding, has been given to a Lebanese man. How Liberians are not spectators in their own country? Tell me, these are things that we have to examine. Folks, this platform, Samson Toe, conversation with Samson Toe, within the next month or so, I will be examining the Propo agenda. They give it to us. It's a blueprint. Okay. This Propo agenda. You know, Christmas time when you buy toy for your kids, or even forget Christmas, you go in the store and buy something, and then they say, fix it yourself, put it together. They have the how-to. This is the how-to, according to this government. This is how they're going to operate. And I'm just examining their how-to. Okay? Number one, according to the pillar, that's holding the Propo agenda up. Power to the people to reduce developmental inequality. So, inequality anyway. So the people can prosper. 2, the economy and job, economic stability and job creation through effective resource mobilization and prudent management of economic inclusion. They tried that. What do we have? Why are we so insincere among ourselves? They have this beautiful stuff. They decide to test it. Economic stability and job creation through effective resource mobilization and prudent management of economic inclusion. They tried that. Core report come out. $16 billion missing you. My people. $16 billion missing. My people. Man, let your come. You have the, yeah, anybody want to come on, just text me your information. We'll call you. We'll invite you. And we want to have this discussion, not just today. I'm not going to do any role, we're building here. No. This is Propo agenda. And people who have knowledge of it, please join us. I'll also be opening the line. Okay? Each pillar has a goal and a set of development outcomes to be produced over the next 5 years in support of the 2 high-level national goals. 16 development outcomes spread across the 4 pillars. Overall, the PID is the commitment to achieve 120 national targets over the next 5 years. People went deeper. I'm going to open the line, folks. The Propo agenda. We're going to be examining that for a while. So let me go ahead and open the line. Yeah, I'll open the line. Let's go ahead. I got called up earlier. This is my number. Give me a call, 916-533-2048. Give me a call, and let's see how far we go from it. Samson Toe, Liberia Public Radio.
Molimo na miteki likambo nasali te bakopanzanga sango kinshasa mobimba bakotomboka kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga natula te ompe nazanga te nazali na mobali oyo akokanga na makambo maso nalingaka naye lelo na lopango na bino mpo nayebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo banda lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga
My people, these people, they're not serious. Though. Like I said, I'm going to be examining this thing here within the next month. This is so ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. Listen to this. You know, this is what we do to each other. And I truly believe that this whole pro-poor agenda is a hoax. Deliberately set up to deceive us. I hope I'm wrong. But listen to this. Each pillar will be led by a champion whose primary role will be to convene a quality meeting to deliberate on progress towards the development outcome and resource requirements from from a multi-sector perspective. Okay, where's the person? We have not heard any individual setting up, because if these people were doing this, they will be able to recognize who's doing what and who's doing whatever. They will be able to recognize things that are going on that will not be conducive. They will be able to recognize at a very early stage where things are going wrong, and they will be able to capture that or catch that so that they can fix it. But if you have Samuel Tuer claiming to be the only man, the only educated person in the entire government, then you have a problem, because he doesn't want you to question it. But here, Samuel Tuer signed one of the outgoing paper here, and here they said each pillar will be led by a champion. And I'm sure Samuel Tuer was agree on these things here. Each pillar will be led by a champion whose primary role will be to convene a quarterly meeting to deliberate on progress towards the development outcome and resource requirements from a multi-sectoral perspective. So if you have these kinds of things, programs set up, you shouldn't be having any issue, because you're saying to us that we're going, and I'm hoping that these people are going to put people who have the ability to do certain things to be part of it. You know what happened? I don't want to say this, but most of these things, as I'm reading this, most of the ideas, the people who wrote this, many of these people that wrote, they are Liberty Partisans, Liberty Party members. They took some of our ideas and decided to help this government. Because I'm going to say this now. During the election, when Liberty Party had their convention over there in Lofa, when they gave them the city hall and it was raining that night, and the city mayor decided they were not going to have them to use the city hall anymore. And some good Samaritan hopped over there in Vanyama, let them to use his house. That night it was raining. I was on the air with them. I was on the air with people in Lofa County that night on Liberian Public Radio. So I know. But anyway, most of these things that I'm reading here, they were ideas that were formulated from Liberty Party. I'm being serious. And because I can look, some of the people that wrote this thing here, I know them. They're partisan. They're a member of our party. I know that. I'm not going to call their name. I'm not going to say who, why, but we know them. And they're very smart, very intelligent. Look at this. I'm not going to call his name. Look at that one. I'm not going to call his name. Look at the other person. It's all Liberty Party. Okay, let me say who Liberty Party. 1, 2, 3 Liberty Party that I know. Oh, another one here, associate. So 4 of them. So I know. But that's not about Liberty Party. This is what I like about these people. They decided to help this government. But the government is not even following up. You told us you're going to have somebody in charge that will have a quality meeting among ministers, among agencies, to say, where are you? We have a blueprint. Where are you? What help? What kinds of help do you need? What have you done? Let's examine what you've done. So if anything, we can come out to. This is how policy. This is how most of us that work on these projects. That's how projects is developed. Because by the time you get to the deliberation, by the time you're ready to deliver, every ounce of critical point has been connected. In fact, this, in the engineering business, they call it peer review, where you turn your engineering project to other engineers, and they look at it from an engineering perspective, and they will tell you what you're doing that was right or what you're doing is wrong. You don't have to agree with it, but they're pointing out things to you. Okay? But they're not doing that. And so they're telling us that they have certain people here that they're supposed to carry out, but they're not doing that. Okay? 12 technical group organized around the development priority. My people, this is so sweet. This is so sweet. If this government were to just follow little bit of their pro agenda, we won't have been having issues. Listen to this. 12 technical, they said they're going to borrow people, Liberian, that know the country. 12 technical group organized around the development priorities comprised of experts and specialists from many of this area. Civil society, business representative will support the pillar. So if you have this and you decide that you're going to follow this, why you think you will not succeed? Then Eugene Falcon all day, the government will succeed. How you think the government will succeed when you're not even carrying out these things? This government will succeed. This government will succeed. So you show me how you're going to succeed. How are you going to succeed? And if you continue to do that, if you do that, you're not going to be able to succeed. And this is what we are. So, folks, my number is open, but within the next month, I will be doing this pro-poor agenda. So bear with us. Bear with us as we go through this thing from time to time. Okay. It's very interesting. They got some money. It's a very interesting document. And I'll take my time. So go through with it. With you, one by one. And let's see if somebody is calling me here. Samson Toll, Labron Public Radio. Samson Toll, Labron Public Radio. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, maybe. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Toll.
Thank you for joining us. What's your name and where you're calling from, sir?
This is Nankemu. I'm calling from Houston, Texas. How you doing, Papi?
Just said Nankemu. I know where you're calling from. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much. What's on your mind?
All right. Well, I've been following the show like close to 20 minutes now. The broadcast went down later, it came back on. So thank you for coming back on.
Thank you.
As per the document you dissecting now, I will be glued to you because I really wanted to understand what the whole entire pro-poor agenda is for. And some of the things you highlighting, they just tell me that the CDC government, they were in opposition, but they were not prepared. I mean, if they were prepared, this identical document should have been sold out to the Liberian people, explain to the Liberian people, this is what we want to do when we come to power. This is how we intend to run the country. But they were not into that. They were protesting all over the place. Even when debate came, they never came on the stage to sell their platform to the Liberian people. That was sad. Today, some of us will sit here and we just wonder what's going on in our country, what's really happening there. It's just a sad situation. Nothing has changed. They came on to fight corruption, but it's like they can't. Like Eddie said, it's a vampire in the hand now. And when it comes to accountability, zero. You talk about the issue of Henry Costa. Okay. Yes, a case in our hand where we can't even solve and we're running after a Liberian citizen. We got a Nigerian man sitting at LAC who confirmation was not settled based on his alleged citizenship. And the president can muster the courage to even say, you know what, my brother, you continue to bring disgrace to my office. Leave this position. But yet and say they after somebody who, according to them, is a fugitive. And you shouldn't broadcast on the airway like Liberia. So I don't know if they really want to unite this country. Mr. So it's sad. It's really heartbreaking. And some of you people who continue to sit on the airway and encourage us, educate us, we just going to be here listening to you. But some of us, we are already giving on what's happening back on the CDC government. And that's my own opinion on this issue. But I will follow you. And there's something, Bobby, you talk about Liberty Party who contributed towards the document. It's time that you need them. We got to know the people. People can be playing double roles. They ain't no pretending like they're in the party and the other side, they're on the other side too. You got to call their name, need them so we can know them. And let me say Happy New Year, because since the New Year, I think my first time seeing you on air today. Happy New Year to you. And you and the family.
Thank you. Happy New Year. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Right.
No, the reason why we're not going to call these people names, because these are our brothers and sisters. And what they have done here, they have not done anything that is criminal. They decided, the fact that they are from Liberty Party does not negate that they bar them from helping making the government to be successful. It is with the government. The people wrote these things. They said, this is a blueprint you asked for. This is how they all went through it and they accepted it. And if they're not implementing the blueprint, then why will you blame the brothers and sisters on the others? Let me read another thing here, folks. and that's what I'm saying. These people are not taking this thing serious. Okay, this is not supposed to be. Okay, so if you're going to do this and say this is the provision of the document that we're hoping will hold people together, this is what the national dialogue is supposed to be. You would think every month that this government would try to put some sort of a roundtable conversation. What this pro-poor agenda should be discussed. Okay? When they put this together, they didn't just do it in isolation. They said they're going to have people who will be in charge of examining every quarter to say, where are we? What do we need to do? How do we need to improve certain things that we're not doing right? You continue to do self-examination. You examine yourself. This is how life is, even in your own personal life. Why do you go to church every Sunday? You go to church to pray. And in your prayer, you sincerely hope that God will sincerely intercede on your behalf, so that whatever it is that you're doing that is not right, that your sin, those of us who have sinned, will be forgiven. That's human being. So you go to this position and say, okay, where are we? Why is this president? I never heard that they have retreat, but when they come from retreat, the only people name you hear, Samuel Toa and Nathaniel Magay and Jefferson Coach, all the other people, you don't even hear their name. What is this? And that's exactly what Na was saying, Kamo was saying. These people are in position for 12 years. They should be in perfect condition, a perfect situation. Because for 12 years they observed what was wrong and what was right. But nothing. There's another interesting article on January 4th about Prophet Key and the Mandikos brothers. Very interesting article. Very interesting article. I will ask you, go on Front Page Africa and look for that article. Not that they were praising Prophet Key, but the guy was saying, look, we Liberians, it doesn't matter Mandingo, Kran, Gio, whatever. If you want to be involved into Liberian politics is not like what it used to be. And guess what? At the end, you know what he did? He wrapped the entire issues, disrespect, insult, that is so much ingrained into our Liberian politics now. He wrapped it around the president and the CDC. For 12 years, he said, they were not here to criticize the president for whatever in policy, but they were going personal. And then the guy asked the question, do you wonder why people are now going personal on President Weah? For 12 years, you did the same thing? This is what I'm talking about. You can't do something and then when time comes, then you say, no, boy, why are you doing that? That's not how it's supposed. No, you introduce these things. You introduce these things. So they are now part of Liberian politics. Let us all accept it. Anybody that want to go into politics, you better accept that they will cost you. They will cost people that you love. That's Liberian politics. It's not going to come out of it. We're not getting out of it. We're getting deeper. And it's getting nasty out there. But that's not my topic tonight. Give me a call. Samson told Liberian Pub Radio. My number is up there. And see if you can... okay. So give me a call. Let's see if we can. Okay. Let's pin that. Okay. That's my number up there, 916-533-2048. Give me a call. It's up there as well. And if like I said, this document, when I get one person watching me for the next month or so, I will continue to go through this document page by page by page until I'm done. So, while I'm waiting for call, let's go a little bit more. Okay? Each pillar has a goal and a set of development outcome to be produced over the next 5 years in support of the 2 high-level national goals. 16 development outcomes spread across the 4 pillars. Overall, the PID is a commitment to achieving 120 national targets over the next 5 years, they said. That was 3 years ago. Okay. The interventions on our pillars 1 and 2 contribute directly to the poverty reduction economic empowerment goals, where those on pillar 3 and 4 will contribute to the building of peace and unity and peace and a united country pursuing a new vision of full integration into the African continent, both in culture and vision. Okay, all right. This one, I give President high mark. The president been sinking within the last 2 or 3 years. That's African culture. He put us there. I give him high mark on that one. I'm not being facetious. I'm being very serious. I mean, very serious. Because when you're singing, those are lyrics. The lyrics that comes out of that song, they mean something. So in terms of culture, I put in there. Okay. To lift Liberian out of poverty, the enabling environment must be created through the intervention in pillars 3 and 4. Let's go back to pillar 3. What pillar 3 says? Sustaining the peace, promote cohesive society for sustainable development. That's pillar 3. They say they particular one, they want you to put 3 and 4 together. 4, governance and transparency, an inclusive and accountable public sector for shared prosperity and sustainable development. Where is that? Where is that? Let's go back. You see, you can't isolate yourself. It's not going to happen. We have code of conduct that every Liberian accepted. So if you're going to deal with this, code of conduct is supposed to assist you. They say, if you're coming to lead us in this public sector, everything that is in this sector belongs to all of us. You're coming to be at the head of this thing, to be able to manage our resource. Tell us, what do you have as your own personal property before coming to manage something to property? Then you say, no, you might not ask me. I will not tell anybody. I'll just come. No. The asset declaration was for your own benefit. Hey, people, you don't understand anything here. That's why you got problem. The asset declaration was not meant to be disgraceful, was not meant to be degrading. It was for your own protection. The asset declaration was meant for people not to insult you tomorrow. The asset declaration was meant to protect you. Because if you come and say, this is what I have, and then, say for example, you come to the public sector have $10 in it. So they say something to come manage it. I say, okay. They say, okay, but before you come, tell us how much dollar you have in your bank account. I say, oh, that $10 you want me to manage. I got $5, oh. I got $2. They say, oh, okay, thank you. So if I come to manage the $10, while I'm managing the $10, my $2 now grow up to $7, and I even pass your $10. Then he said, but Mr. Joe, what happened to her? I say, hey, your money. Say, but what you got? That's not your business. That's not what happened. I'm managing your business. You tell me, am I not managing your $10? I told you I got $7. What make you think I can't do investment? That's how you do it. But if I come in to manage your $10, and I said, I ain't your business. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to get. I ain't your business. All you say, I'm going to manage. Okay. So I force my way. I'm not going to tell anybody anything. Because why? I am who I am. So I get inside. They say, okay. Before you know, the little money that I thought I had, I started building my own money. I borrow money. What I do, I start taking. I'm not touching your money. But then the young people might say, oh, wait. Mr. Toe, we ask you how many dollars you got. You don't tell us anything. Out of a setting, you get managing our $10. You even 10 years. You even 2 days. Look at the kind of money you got. You are roll. What am I going to do now? That the time now I can't declare assets. When people start calling me Tiffy. The asset declaration is for your own protection, for the future protection of you and your family. But people don't understand it. They don't understand it. So this is what we are. Let me go on. Okay? A stable and resilient nation on the African continent. They're talking about Liberia. If they follow this proper agenda. A stable, based on proper agenda. A stable and resilient nation on the African continent can only emerge through wise investment in education. Oh, my people. Yeah. CDC government, you got to go back. You got to go back on the drawing table and pick up the paper, dust it out. They document it, you follow it. You will not fail. You will win re-election. I say so. I say so. Proper agenda. A stable and resilient nation on the African continent can only emerge through wise investment in education, health, infrastructure in ways that reverse pretentious embarrassment in the development across population group and region of Liberia. Recognizing the malfeasance and malfigured nature of the sustainable development, the intervention outlined in the PIT are formulated to tackle the building constraint concurrently and from all the key dimensional measures using the IPI. Implementation and coordination agreement. My people, and this is why I blame people like Samuel Tuah. Samuel Tuah is an educated person. But he wants to dominate. Once he finds out that you don't know anything, he tends to dominate and abuse you. Intellectually, abuse you. Feel like you're nothing. Condescending. And as a result, he doesn't respect your behavior. He doesn't even respect who you are because he thinks he's educated, more educated than you. So he thinks his opinion should be the only thing. And this is why I differ with Samuel Tuah all of the time. Few times Samuel Tuah have done some wonderful thing, and I will praise him. But on these kinds of stuff, I don't agree with it. Samuel Tuah is so educated that if he decides if this government fails, it's because Samuel Tuah refused to help this government to move forward. I'm not targeting Mr. Tuah, Honorable Tuah, based on the fact that I think that he doesn't have the educational stamina to make sure that this government succeeds. Far from it. But because of this behavior, his idea of being the only person who has the interest of Liberia at heart, this is wrong. Samuel Tuah must open up, must allow people who are just as educated as he is to allow them to function. Those smarter people in the room, this is what Samuel Tuah does, and this is what killing us. Okay? So Samuel Tuah comes to this thing here, says, I know everything, and what I said must happen. And I will show you some video. Like I said, I'm going to be playing this thing from time to time. I'm going to be calling on Pa George here soon to give us a closing because I need to get off this thing here as soon as possible. Okay? So, Samuel Tuah, I will show you some video here. He used some language. I'm not going to say that here tonight. I'm going to save it for the video. And you will understand some of the things that I'm saying about Honorable Tuah. He's highly educated. I keep saying that. Samuel is not a fool. Very smart. Very intelligent. But because of that, the fact that he has learned so much for himself, he believes everyone else around him, he has no respect for them. And you can, when he's speaking, even if he's in a room where there are other intellectuals, where they are powerful intellectuals, where they are gladiator, that's the word they always use, gladiator of intellectualism. When he's in the same room, he thinks he's better than everybody else. And especially if you challenge his attitude, if you challenge whatever it is that he's saying, then you become like pariahs in the room. He won't even look at you anymore. Now you're somebody who is nothing. When you agree with Samuel Tuah, don't challenge him. You will be his friend. Let's go on. Implementation And after this, I'm going to be calling on Pat George. Pat George, if you're watching, please get ready to close this thing for us. Okay? Implementation and coordination agreements. Okay? Drawing on the lesson learned. You see, this is what I'm talking about. See, these people, they're not stupid. They look at the past for 12 years. And that's why I said they're in position. For 12 years, they were in opposition. There were those who were among the sedition that were watching, looking. Say, what's wrong here? That the smart people, they're looking. In the 12 years, when CDC was in opposition, when was the last time you saw Samuel Tuah out in the street sitting in public, demonstrating? Is there any, folks? I don't know. I'm not saying it never happened, but I've not seen it yet. What Samuel Tuah would be in the street, especially when some of the young people of CDC were taken to jail, and Samuel Tuah stand among them to try to get them out, to argue. I've never seen that. When was the last time that CDC and the government was in some sort of a tussle and Samuel Tuah is in the middle of it? I've never seen that. I've never seen. I'm not saying it ain't nothing, but I've never seen that. Because he doesn't believe in those kinds of engagement. Okay, so let's go ahead. Implementation and coordination agreement. Okay, and this is what the point that I'm leading to. So there were people like in the CDC that were watching. So what this government is doing that is not right. When we come in, we're not going to repeat that. What this government is doing that is right. When we come in, we're going to repeat that and try to double that because that's something good. There were people in CDC that were watching and were hoping to implement some of these things. But when they got to this position of trying to say, okay, guys, those of you that will have the bag, few minutes ago, what's in our bag? We've said something good were in it, we were going to take out. When that time came to make that decision, Samuel Tuah and Nathaniel McGill, they shut them off. Completely shut them off. And so sedition, those who have the ability to actually implement this pro-poor agenda, they are shut off. I don't want to call names here tonight, because if by me calling it will make them feel like, or make other people feel, oh, these are people that are going around believing the things that they own. No, but you know who you are. You know who you are. And I'm not trying to toot your horns. I'm just saying something. And those who are unable to implement are now in power. This is the struggle among sedition themselves. But let's go on. And I'll read this. That will be it for the night. Okay, folks? Samson told LeBron Public Radio. You know what? I'll keep it for next show. Join us on Monday, and we will join us on Monday, and then we will repeat. We'll carry out this thing. Pat George, if you're there. Who is this, George? George H.W. Brato. Besides knowing you for many years, one of the reasons why I visit your show, I just love your style of storytelling. George, you're killing me. Tone of voice. You got me laughing, but the truth of the matter is. But George, good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me read this guy's story. The truth of the matter is, I have some serious reflection to make as per your question. Okay, Josh, please give us a call, and I'd like to engage you myself. So please give us a call. If you call right now, we'll ask Pat George to take a few minutes. But if not, let's go ahead. Josh, you can call out, or we can go on with the conversation next time. But Josh, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Samson Tour is the liberal progressive is back. We're going to do our best, but I want to thank you because you're one of those brothers that called yesterday to know if I'm okay. But Josh, I'm okay. Except as I told you yesterday, I've been very busy with this project. So, But Josh, are you there? He's gone? No. I'll call him. So, I'll call him. Okay. Mr. Edmonds Joyce, Samson Toe calling you. So close it for us. Mr. Joyce, are you there? Oh, okay. All right, Mr. Joyce, if you get this message, please give us a call. I'll wait for your call. So anyhow, Joyce, Copter, please give us a call if you don't mind. Okay. So I'm not going to be doing any more reading again until Monday. But no, on a very serious note, folks. Okay, Mr. Josh. Mr. Josh, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. But please don't think that you and Alfonso so drove me away because of your conservative view. Far from it. This liberal cannot be driven out. So I want you to know that.
What is it? I don't want to say anything. If I say anything, we want to see your face, then we'll talk.
Okay, all right. Yeah, close it for us. Close it for us, Josh. Thank you.
What you just highlighting. Whenever I was come around, I would just say the doctor, the blueprint, but the implementation is just a waste. You know, all these things people sat down 12 years. They were looking at the Ellen Johnson to the government, seeing where they made the mistakes, seeing the shortcomings, and they got the power to put out this paper, but it's like they had thrown it out of the window. Completed. Everything you see in there. Well, one thing someone can point at that they took from that paper, from that document that they implemented, nothing. It's like chicken without head. Yeah. Look at the business story that they're developing. They talk about participation, Liberians, in the development of the country. This news is coming from Liberia that the Labor Ministry and the Bureau of Immigration is deciding to give the work permit and the visa to an Arab company. The government is the one people who will be able to have 15 million in the bank account or equivalent. A Liberian business will have 15 million in the account, raw cash, sitting down there. Is that realistic view for a Liberian business?
What bank account? They even got money. They themselves ain't got money in the bank. I always tell people to keep 15 million there.
Yeah. And this is a story that developing Nigeria. And you talk about character. Look at the Minister of Labor, Charles Gibson. This man, a lawyer like took prime money and ate it. Twice, this man was nominated. We made no job. We are going, but finally he went and they confined to the Labor Department. What is the transparency they're talking about? Accountability. Someone that embezzled, that took prime money, ate it. And you say, you're talking about accountability. And you put a man at the Ministry of Labor. Compare that with that document you just read, accountability and transparency. This government, all the development that unfortunately is doing. But the question I ask them, how many jobs in the we are government came to power that the private sector have created 100% we are? Nobody can give you any secret. So what is it? Lifting people from poverty. Government alone cannot lift the people from poverty. No way. It has to be in collaboration with the private sector because the private sector want to create the jobs, and these people will be trained and hired, and then pay taxes to government. Nothing has been done on these people. So when these people are yelling, oh yeah, they're doing the okay. $3 million was given to the Ministry of Commerce last year for small businesses. $1 million discovered, it was changed to like $1 What happened to the government? Nobody can get account of it. How can you let people out of poverty? $3 million was given to the Liberian by the government to give the small businesses. Where is the money to the where are the people? What happened? And the result, the deputy minister was dismissed. The moment work for boss was in traffic. What is the accountability? How can you let people out of poverty? When people are eating all the money, you cannot get account for this money. And you say that you want to let people out of poverty. You talk about call-up. How many ministers and representative government people ever declare an asset? Declare your asset and put it, and still you know it's not declared. It must be declared and published. But if it is not, it should be every day. When people request it, it must be available. But you say no. When you declare it must be back on the floor. How can that be transparency? People don't know what you're coming with to the door and they don't know what you're dealing with. People start speculating, they say, oh, the people always accusing the government. Because the government is not forthcoming. And according to their own document, that contradicts the document you're talking about. So these are problems. You say you want to print money. You are not even identifying the cause of the problem that money leaves. How can you print new money when you don't know why the money is disappearing from the market? You must find the money is disappearing, then you find a solution to it, then you print new money. But if you don't identify that problem, you won't solve that problem, you print new money, it will just go the same old way. And who's going to pay for the money? They talk about $21 million, something to print some money. If you have that money, then why that money cannot be invested in other areas? People don't know what happened to the money that came into the country. I saw another person where I think $9 billion has been printed. And none of this can be found on the market. You talk about accountability, transparency, what happened? Why the government cannot tell Latinos what happened to this money? Look, let me just summarize. The whole thing here is these people are taking the Nigerian bill for a joke. They were not prepared. The 12 years, they didn't make any preparation. They thought the government was at a soccer club or a ball club where people just come and talk and the thing will happen. No. Now they are caught up in it. Today, they cannot find a way out. They cannot find a way. They cannot believe this is happening to them. So that pro agenda, that's just a paper. They made it just to sit down on the shed to make it. It was just a design they made. So we just don't want to say that the government, that the framework we got to run this government. But there's nothing that has been done to achieve 25% of what is in that document. How can people tell you? Can they lay a finger on anything to tell you that the 3 years we were able to get 6,000 people out of poverty? These are the people you see what they're doing. Can they show you that? Can they show anybody 1,000 Liberians, 2,000 Liberians that the pro agenda took out of poverty since the 3 years? I want to see those people. Where were they at the time and today where are they? I want to see them. And this issue of cussing, this sort, as you say, it has now become part of the culture, political culture of Liberia. It's not going away. Man, I saw them CDC COP chairman Ben Chokwa, they were in a rage yesterday, saying all kinds of things about Benin Nigeria, about car. And if you listen to the guys, what they said yesterday, you can see the clear divide in the country. This Congo and country thing is stay there. It stay there. So the program did not talk about unifying the country, but yeah, people from the camp spreading this thing out there. So how can you reconcile this kind of statement and what you have in the document? It's just a paper, but in practicality, it's not there. They are not doing it. They're not making any effort. They can only make reference to, oh, we got a blueprint. But to take anything there to put it to the practicality is not there. So it's just one of the things we just got to work with for the next 6 years. We'll be discussing it as you read it, but hey, nothing will change. 3 years now. Next year will be campaign time. How much you have? How much time now you have? So focus on actual development. When they campaign, you start making campaign moves. Now people are getting on. How would you have when you have wasted the past 3 years? Just turning around in Maserati. The roads you're building, if the people want to look at technical, those who have the idea to take to these roads are not up to standard. But hey, it's what you have, so you take advantage of it. So I just want to be on a note. The people don't see that document, they just put it together, but they are not living up to it. Very arrogant when they come to talk about these things. They don't want to ask the people who have experience. They don't want to get the expertise or existence. All they know that they are the one. So tomorrow you can say, yeah, we did it. They want to prove to people that they are highly educated, highly intelligent. They can run the country effectively as just as other people have done. And sometimes all doesn't go well. I should look at the Minister of Finance, how he talks to people. Look at the man when he is certain of a guy and how he speaks. You can see the man, the body language. And how can that man go sit down in a meeting with diplomats to talk like that? They have a discussion. Anybody wants to ask questions, he figures that someone wants to challenge him, and he just go wild. He began confrontational with his conversation with people. And I think the minister should know that he should be able to have a change of ideas. But Senator is the only guy I figure he's the most smartest person in Liberia to run the Ministry of Finance and to implement the government development project. So there's nobody can say anything to him. You know, maybe the only thing he can listen to are people maybe from the World Bank or so because they want to give him their money. But any other person that comes, he really don't consider them from the way he talks to them. It's a manual approach. So, Mr. Toh, we just got to continue to talk. So let me just close on that note.
Thank you, Mr.
Hello?
Judge. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Let me call on this gentleman. But thank you, Mr. Judge. We'll be back again Monday.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
The number or code you have dialed is...
Okay. All right. Well, I'm trying to call back these two numbers, but they it's going to a voicemail. So I'm sorry. You know, when you call, most of the time, Josh, I'll wait for your call, Josh. Not Amos Josh, but Josh Coptor. So we'll wait for your call, sir. Just give us. We'll wait maybe about another 2 minutes or so. We'll wait for your call because I know you want to say something here. So please give us a call. Josh, HW KPA Captor. Okay? Give us a call. We're waiting for your call, please.
otalelanga bana yanga molimo na miteki likambo nasali te bakopanzanga.
Okay. maybe next week we'll do it. But anyway, folks, thank you very much for joining us this evening. It's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. And almost, 10 o'clock over there in the East Coast. So let me get out of here. I want to thank all of you again. Let's continue to pray for one another, and let's be careful out there. Protect yourself. Please stay safe. It's very important that we stay safe. Mr. Sampson Toe, I'll say good night to all of you. But before I leave, let me leave you with this. The intent here is not to blame a specific government. The intent here, hold on 1 minute, please. Samson Toe, Liberian Public Radio, are you calling to be contribution to the Liberian Public Radio, or you want me to call you back? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Public Radio, are you calling?
Can you lower your background?
Public Radio, or you want me to call you back? What?
Can you lower your background?
Hello? Is it too high? Yeah, hello?
Yes, this
Okay.
is Toe.
Okay. Yeah. Lower your background. What? Can you lower your background? Huh? Is it too high? Yeah, hello? Yes. Okay. I don't think my background is too high. I think that you have something on the loudspeaker.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I can hear you so loud, and I don't think mine is so loud like yours.
All right, go ahead. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, but your background is what is killing us. So I'll call you back.
You call me back?
Yes. But lower your TV or lower your monitor or something like that.
I am on the laptop. I'm not on the TV.
Yeah, okay. To lower your laptop volume.
Yes. But lower.
Okay, folks, let me call.
Reached 51991511926. This voicemail box is full and cannot.
Hello.
Yeah, okay. Much better.
If my voice is too loud, it's from you, not me.
Okay. All right, go ahead, make a appointment, brother.
Mm-hmm. No, I just want to. Hello. Yeah. Okay. That's better. If my voice is too loud, it's from you, not me. Okay. Go ahead, make a appointment, brother. No, I just want to say something. The man said something concerning culture, that the president is making music, so he gives him a high mark. Are you getting me?
Yeah. I said that.
You said it, Mr. Toe said it.
Yes.
If you went on the farm
today. You came back home. And you got to the house, and all of the children are all dizzy. They are sleeping. They are tired of everything that happened the whole day. And you got home and start making fun and dancing before the children. How would they enjoy that your output?
Okay. Good point. Good point.
Eh?
Good point. I got your point. Good point. Go ahead.
The president is making music. Man, who's this calling me? Man? I'm going to decline for the people not eating. Their children not going to school. The children not getting to school. They who are there now will not be the only people to be Liberians tomorrow. People have to come up to be in their place tomorrow, but they don't want to give the people chance to go to school to do anything that make them to be effective Liberians tomorrow. So that when they take up the office, they will not go into the same kind of shoes that they are wearing today. But you say you give the president high mark because our custom or what? I don't understand it.
Okay.
The other thing, when you go in the fish market and you bought 2 cases of fish, the very first case that is on the top, when you open it and you see 2, 3 fishes there, they are rotting. What will you do with the other one that is on the one that is on top there is already rotting? What will happen to the one under there?
Yeah.
Well, that's our Liberia. And we say the people are not doing the right thing, and we want the office, we get in the office, we do worse than the people.
Okay.
When Tobo was president, they said they were humbuging him. They will grab the little children, put them to jail. Now they say we ourselves are there. We ourselves are there now. We'll put him there, that our own son. But he's doing worse than what the people we call the Congo people to us. Look at Liberia, so small. Liberia is almost 200 years of independence. There are no roads to get to the city.
I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay. When you look at the roads that lead from the other county headquarters to get to Monrovia, you don't call them roads. They are worse than the roads, the paths the people use in the forest there to extract our trees, get the logs and take them, and the money go in the pocket of only one person when the mass is suffering. When I look at Liberia, when I look at the roads that leave the interior to Monrovia, my heart sinks. When will we get out of this? John Bryan is not doing well. When we get there, we will do better. But when we get there, you start eating the black ant and the rats. They say they are brothers. When the trap catch the rats, before the black ant take it from there, will eat the toe and the tail and the ears. How will they listen?
Okay.
This is the only thing that I want to say.
Thank you.
I don't think I can do it. Where I am, I'm sick. I'm in exile. From my youthful days, I never believed in going in a different country to make development. When we have all the resources there and you get the people going there, they're giving you money to develop. And they send people after the money to monitor it, and then it goes back to the people who can send it. But you say you have people that you send to be trained to pick up those things and do them.
The viewer like to know what's your name and where you're calling from.
I will give you my name. Don't worry.
Okay.
I will give you my name. Another thing in Monrovia is not Liberia. all the high institutions of learning are built in Monrovia. My name is Robert Kennedy.
Okay.
I'm calling from Canada.
All right.
I'm
Thank
calling
you.
from
Thank you,
Canada,
Mr.
Mr.
Kennedy.
Tu. You hear me?
Yeah,
My
what
name
you,
is
what you,
Robert
I said
Kennedy. I'm
thank you
calling
very
from
much for
Canada,
your view.
Windsor, Ontario.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Thank you very much.
Okay. When Mr. Cummings was on the radio one time, I tried to call him. He said I was saying something that he would not understand. He would get back to me, and he never called me. When COVID business entered the country. Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bye-bye now.
I am not a politician.
Yeah, we
From
can. Yeah.
my childhood, I say I don't like politics because the politicians are liars.
Mm-hmm.
They will say and don't do. After they have their pocket full, they forget about the masses.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
that is the culture of Liberia.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, sir.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Samson to Labrador Public Radio. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
This is George Pato.
Okay,
And
George
I'm calling
Patel.
from
Thank
North
you.
Dakota.
Thank you for calling.
Okay. I originally intended to address the issue as raised by you regarding the pro-poor agenda as well as the core report. Maybe we can set another time aside for that because you have the various pillars that you were talking about. But what I want to do, if I'm given the opportunity on your show tonight at this dime meeting, I would just like to briefly address the last some of the issues raised because I just want to succinctly make some comments so that I don't hold you up to about closing.
Right. Go ahead, but make it brief, sir. We appreciate it.
Okay. So our good old man talked about roads, education, and other things. You see, the only problem I have, why it is true that all these things are realities today, the fact remains that those who came to power from the one in Liberia, when we were given this quote-unquote independence, if they have laid the foundation, we'll not even be talking about road conditions today. And he made an important point that Monrovia is not Liberia. I agree. But how quickly did the interior open up? You see, it took so very long. And even when the interior finally opened up, everything was still centralized. And up to now, we are still struggling with decentralization. So I don't think it was fair the way how he brought the historicity of how our country has. Well, why are we where we are today in our country? And it is not only because of today's government or the immediate past government, but this has its own genesis in how the country came into being and some of the mindset and the mentality of those who govern the country to time immemorial. For almost 33 years, if not more, the country has been Monrovia-based crop. So since you say I should be brief, I will leave it there because the next time I'm opportune to come on your show, I want to really address a lot of controversial issues.
We appreciate it, and we'll try to take you on that as well. Thank you very much.
Okay.
When we put our number, just try and call in as soon as possible so we can have time to engage you because I think you will be helpful in educating us.
And when next, even though I follow your show a lot, when next are you coming on?
I'll be back again Monday.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the time.
All right. Folks, it's going to be interesting. We might have Mr. Marco to educate us and I think we'll be very much appreciative to his whatever effort he's going to have for you. Let's try this. Let me call this number. They've been calling here. I'm sure they have something. That will be the last number anyhow. So let's just hope that the person will answer, and then we will have the conversation. And after that, we'll say good night to all of you.
Yes, good evening, sir. My name is Udakabi Bland. I'm calling from New York, New York.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I just saw your number missed call 4 times, so I thought that I'd call you back. Go ahead, make your point, my brother.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. So, Mr. To. Quickly, you guys always invite Mr. George to give some input to analyze some situations that are happening in Liberia. But one thing I realized is that he is very partial. You see, he always complains, no matter what the government do, he always complains, give some biased information. And, Mr. To be frank with you, this government has done tremendous, beyond all reasonable doubt. They have done well, absolutely well. If you look at the time they took over with all the financial constraints up to today's date, just this January made them 3 years. For the first time in this country history, major corporations, the oil refinery, the Freeport of Monrovia, have state-of-the-art headquarters. Besides that, look at the equipment at the JFK Medical Center. Those diagnostic machines that were put there by this government. You had a government that had all necessary budgetary support for 12 years that could not even carry a diagnostic machine, casket machine in that hospital. Then you go above that and look at even the length of the city. Not part of the city, not all. But even the few that is done, the few lights, all that is light up there, none of them talk about that. And then I heard him talking about people not eating. For how many years is this the first time people are crying for food in Liberia? They say people not eating. So this government must go and give the people food to eat. Which government has ever fed the Liberian people before? Look at when it comes to the aspect of tuition, higher learning institution. People go to school nowadays, the government higher learning institution, free. Mr. So, these guys are not fair to this government. Let's be frank.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing you have to understand as well. Every one of those people, including yourself, you guys are entitled to your opinion. And we give Mr. Joyce an opportunity, and he expressed his opinion, which are not sanctioned by LeBron Public Radio. We're giving you the opportunity to disagree and express your opinion. Your opinion is also not sanctioned by LeBron Public Radio. So you see, I think we're doing our best for all of us to engage each other. So I just thought that I put that in there. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. To, but you see, for them, they always one-sided. They don't even talk and sometimes go close to the middle. They're always one-sided. You don't do things like that.
Yeah, but what I want you to understand is, even if they're one-sided, you have the opportunity to disabuse most of the audience, perhaps, who think this man is saying something that they're in tune with. So you have the opportunity now to disabuse us as well.
Okay. To cut long story short, this government is 3 years old, Mr. To. They have done tremendous well. With what they are doing, I actually think they are doing great. Great. Today, I was just looking at the road that being done in the Johnsonville area. I'm looking at the demolition that going on from here, the way Junction, pass by the red light going towards that side on the Kakata Highway side there, somewhere in Mount Barkley or Park Pink area going. I'm looking at the demolition and the installation of cover and things. I'm still looking at street lights being planted, certain area being electrified. I'm looking at new corporate headquarters where they only have bungalow and containers that they were using in those areas as offices. I'm looking at new equipment that no stick machine in the JFK hospital with the limited budget support they have compared to the past government. I think the government is doing great. This government did not institute the $15,000 a monthly salary for a member of parliament or any government employee. They were not introduced by this government. Other things that were introduced by the past government entangled this government. And she stays striving to do otherwise. Look at the fortification of Crew Town. That barrier that been placed there, that is still putting there to stop the erosion. That cost millions of dollars. Even for the first time, we're seeing some modern buildings being constructed in certain counties of our country, taking people from touch in those buildings, even though not everybody gets in it, or not even maybe 5% of the population in that counties getting it, but at least the few that getting it, and those spots that are changing faces along the highway in those cities is deplorable. So this government is doing well. If they can do what they have done in 3 years, I think if we give them 12 years, that country will be shining and sparkling. Most of what they're complaining about today will be alleviated. So I think let them give them a chance. They're wanting too much too. So when you talk, they say employment. Nobody employed. If the people were employed in the past government, do you think people are going to be crying today? If the people were fed and filled the past government, do you think people are going to be hungry today? So, Mr. Toh,
okay,
they are just unfair to themselves.
Okay.
I won't even say to the Liberian people. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another person I was calling here, and I wasn't able to pick up. Let me call that person. That will be the last. That's from New Jersey. Let's go ahead and pick up that call.
Please leave your message for...
Okay. Let's try it again. Hello? Yeah, I'm calling back from Liberian Public Radio because I got a missed call here.
Yeah, Mr. Toh, how you doing? I was just listening to one of your speakers on your program.
Thank you. Go ahead. You want to give some sort of contribution?
Yeah, definitely. I think this guy is out of touch. He's out of touch. And I think the reason is, and I don't want to blame him because he rightly said he lives in Philadelphia. So he doesn't really know what is happening in Liberia. I don't know when last he was there. Okay.
Okay.
You know, people look, when I hear people talking about people building on the Freeport, LPROC, these are things that were already laid out by previous government. It's not George Weah that is building those places.
Well, can we? Okay. Let me push back on that a little bit. Can we not try to give him a credit? It was even though it was implemented, it was something that was set up, but it's being implemented on his watch. Do you know he could have said, you know what, I don't think so. I don't want to build this, or I don't want to do this. Why can't we just try to give him a credit sometime? You know?
No,
what do you think?
I'm not discrediting him. But the tendency of people coming here and try to create a scenario that this is what is happening in this government. No, we shouldn't, we should be, when people come on this public platform, you should be able to be logical. You should be able to do, analytical statements to really reflect on realities. Okay? These are things that happen. Government has created this environment before. The RIA, when I hear people on Facebook, oh, George, those things are on the layout. I'm not a supporter of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, for the past president. But she laid these things out. She started RIA, George Weah came there, and he's completing those things. I'm not against that. Okay? But you're one of your speakers just sitting here in Philadelphia, doesn't know what is happening, no money in the banks, people are unemployed. The JFK you're talking about that diagnostic machine can treat diseases. No. The people do not even have medication. Nurses are not being paid. Okay? So these are things that are happening. And so when people sit out of Liberia and trying to do comparison and trying to be subjective, it puzzles me.
Okay. All right, my brother. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Okay.
All right. Okay, folks, that was the last caller. I want to thank all of you again for tuning in. This is Samson Toe. When you guys do this kind of stuff, it just really brings some joy to me because I know then we're alive to have the kind of spirited debate on issues affecting our brothers and sisters. Just let us all pray for one another. Continue to pray for one another and make sure that we're able to have these kinds of conversations with a clear understanding that we're coming to these things, to this debate or to the engagement, that we should come with an open mind. Because don't come in and think what you're saying is the absolute truth. You don't have monopoly on absolute truth. Let's have an open mind so that we will have the opportunity to compromise. Samson Toe. Okay, folks, I think I'll take this color. Samson Toe, LeBron Public Radio. Go ahead. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yes, Mr. Toe. I just called for a point of correction. Your caller said I told you I'm calling from Philadelphia. You see, that's where our problem comes from in the country. You can be living and they're killing you and cutting your throat while you stay breathing. They take out your eye, cut your throat, and chop you to pieces. I just called, I told you I'm calling from New York, the best part of this country. The best part of the United States of America. It's just that when you go to Liberia, you tell the people I'm calling you from Broad Street. Then he's telling you, say, I'm calling from Philadelphia. These are the people that are destroying Liberia. When you thought they say early initiated that, what they will never tell you about the money, the scandal for NOCA, or the printing of testing to 20 billion.
You guys are killing me. Okay, the guy is calling by. Let me see if I can connect you. Hold on.
Yeah, paying somebody $15,000 per month, even in America, when there's no one in America making such a money in the House of Representatives and Senate here. When a woman went introduce all that, they will never talk about it.
All right, let me call this guy. Let him make his point so we can get out of here. Thank you very much, my brother.
I'm telling you, say I call from Philadelphia.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me call him back so he can connect me.
These are the people that destroy it.
Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Cho. Yeah, Mr. Cho.
Yes, we're all connected here. Go ahead, make a point. The brother is listening as well. Go ahead.
It doesn't really matter where he's calling from. Okay.
No. We can't. I don't want to cut you off. I don't want. Let's do one at a time, please. Let's do one at a time. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you have said New York. Yeah, if you have said New York, all right, I agree I made an error on where you stay.
There's no error. I lied.
Okay, all right, he doesn't want to engage. Go ahead, my brother, make your point.
Okay. So if you have said New York, I apologize for that. But what my point I'm making here, you do not live in Nigeria. That's the point. You don't live in Nigeria. Then you say that you're talking blah, blah, blah. Do you live in Nigeria?
No, he's dropped off now. Drop him off because he doesn't want to engage. Okay.
The point here is this guy does not live in Nigeria. That's the central idea. But this is what I'm saying, Mr. So people come here, they are low-minded. They cannot really discuss.
No. My brother, let us don't go that route either, please. Let's respect one another, please.
But the point here is, so the man does not live in Nigeria. That's the central idea of my conversation.
Okay, but I think you sound much more intellectual than to go that low. Please, let's keep the conversation and mount ourselves with respect. So please, let's do so. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. So good night to you, my brother. I appreciate it. Thank you for the correction. Thank you. Okay, folks, Samson told LeBron Public, I better get out of here. I'm not taking any more calls before we have some serious mishap here. We had a wonderful show. I would like to keep it that route. I don't want people, I thought maybe by me in connecting all three of us, I thought perhaps we will turn it into a conversation and have a spirited debate. But I think if we do that, somehow we're not, still not at the same level yet. Anyhow, this is Samson told LeBron Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again tonight for tuning in. It's kind of 10:15 over there. It's late in the East Coast, that is. So thank you. It's just 7:15 here. Tomorrow, Saturday. But I have to go to work very early in the morning. But thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's been a wonderful Wednesday. Did I say Wednesday? I mean Friday. Thank you very much for calling in and whatever we do. We will be back here again Monday, and we'll be discussing the Pro agenda. Please join us so that we can have some conversation. If you believe what we're saying is not true or you don't agree with us, we don't have anything there to say whatever we say is the truth. No, far from it. We say these things, what we believe, what we think is happening. You don't agree with us, call us and point it out. But we'll let us do so with respect for one another. It's very important. It's very important to converse. Just a few minutes ago, I had these two gentlemen. I thought they were going to be able to talk to each other and have a civil conversation. But the other person started saying, you lie. Immediately I have to cut him up because the conversation then was driving to the negative side. And then that also generated the response from the other person who I also believe is sound intelligent and sound highly intellectual. But he also have to respond because of the previous comment. We evoke the negative side from this person. You see, when we do that, then we don't understand each other. So, folks, that would have been a very good. I mean, the guy said you live in New York, and the guy said he's calling from. Which was understand the man made a mistake, and his intent of calling back was to say, "I'm sorry if I make a mistake. I made a mistake by saying that you're calling from Philadelphia." But instead, the guy said, "No, you didn't make a mistake. You lied." And those are kinds of things. When you start conversation like that, you automatically shut everybody else off. And this is what I'm saying. We're not here to fight with each other. Let's have an engagement and let's have conversation. Samson Toh. Thank you very much and good night.
bana yanga molimo na miteki likambo nasali te bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongoka kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga natula te ope nazanga te nazali na mobali oyo akokanga na makambo maso nalingaka oyebisa baninga na yo bana lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa kobotalelanga bana yanga molimo na miteki likambo nasali te bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongonga kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga nazali na mobali oyo akokanga na makambo maso nalingaka naye lelo na lopango na bino mpo nayebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo bana lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa mobali yango kowapiye natala na miso na ye na tembe o mama na ye
na lopango na bino naye bobeta ngai naye kosukisa ye ekwekese ya mobali ngai na bino tokowela sapato etengama simisi pasuka na mokongo
naye na tembe o naye na tembe mwana naye na tembe o
yeah.